Hello, guys. Sammy on Reptile here. Yeah, I know. I'm shirtless. What's up? Plus, I got a fade. I look like DJ Pauly D back in 2010, and my titties be flat. Blow me, y'all. Come on. I look like a Miami Puerto Rican dog. I want to check out what's happening with the Crunchyroll Awards that you're getting from Twitter, especially because that's going on these days. So what's happened was is that just today from from today and I think last night or maybe last night, who knows? A lot of reactions from Crunchyroll from the Anime Awards. Everybody voted, I think for sure, about. I think the best highest votes was between Solo Leveling, Freiren, Dan Da Dan, Re Zero, Attack on Titan, the final one, and then so forth. I know for sure that many people have been right now are or half side is half that Solo Leveling won, but the other half, most of them have, which is I think it's the majority is happening on Twitter. It's caused a big backlash. Like for example, this is going on Twitter right here. Um, this is a Solo Leveling is saying that from I think hers Ario Soldier, Ario Soldier, I think that's her name, saying Solo Leveling one, best new action series, best action, best main character, best VA, best song, best OST, and the rear. Really, this is a new low for even for which is funny, which is weird, which is that to hear such a backlash. A lot of people are backlashing it for the because of the fact that Solo Leveling won and not Freeman. Now, if for those who watch animes like Apothecary Diaries, all that too, Apothecary Diaries was also part of it. Attack on Titan, and so forth, so forth. They were supposed to be they had the more top ranked views for that point on, as to say, and to whatever was the idea, or what is it to the momentum of how whether or not it is actually is rigged or it is rigged because Crunchyroll probably is not have not recently has not been very respectful for the fans. I believe that too. That with because they did the fact that Freeran was really well rated top one throughout 2024, 2025 this year. Because Freeran released, I think, back in the summer or spring of 2024, and then it was just it peaked. I think from that point on, and it's crazy how that Crunchyroll, to many people's reaction to this, that Crunchyroll have refused to, to accept or nominate Free Ren to as number one in the Anime Awards, has been said. And you're hearing this out of Chibi reviews. You're hearing this out of our boy Trash Says Gar. You're hearing this out of Atreus. You're hearing this out of many other Otaku Spirit. You're hearing this out of many very notable YouTube anitubers they call them for this content for the floatings because Freeran, especially my boys RDC World, Mark, he's also in high votes for Freeran, and Freeran was such a new fresh for him. But to say that right now since Solo Leveling out of nowhere won and out of nowhere and Ninja Kamui beats Girls Band Cry, you know, and of course Demon Slayer once again becoming the top another top rated nomination for the Crunchyroll Awards. It's just basically it's just saying that them has been said by many people within the community. Now I'm not like I am part of the community, but I'm kind of not in the community. But I kind of do know why. I do know the situation to it. Is that it goes back to the report from from this shit. this shit that is saying from that in Hollywood, still people in the West here in America still think anime is just nothing but bloody, gory fighting and sex and nudity all the time, all the time. It just goes back to this Western, this very blatant, vague Western, just closed mindedness, this arrogance that all that when if you watch anime, you're just a completely become a degenerate and such and that. Where a funny fact is that there's that. Let's be real. There, like yeah, we may have that in anime, but they would lie to your face. Like people in Hollywood love to lie to everyone's face that they're not the same thing as Japan. Because it's funny enough that if you look at Disney, if you look at Ralph Bakshi's cartoons, you look at some comic books that were released during back in the days, you will see like Agent Nine. I think there was that was a comic book from the '90s that it showed in 2000s and the '90s. There was some raunchy fan service, and they still think that anime is just nothing but fan service, which is not always the case. Fan service helps, fan service saves. That's one, but not everything is sexual or violence. I mean, people. I want these kind of like to kind of like watch at least an episode of my favorite my favorite romance. I mean, my happy marriage. I think that's what they call it. I watch that. It's on Netflix. And Comey can't communicate. Have them watch something slice of life. Have them watch Death Note. Have these people watch Death Note, which is the top tier of any shonen anime that isn't even a jump at all. It's not even aura farming, right? And what? But back to this. This goes back to the fact that the people who are in Crunchyroll in the Anime Awards, as been saying, and then I'm speaking from people's reactions behalf, is that these people, Crunchyroll is nothing else but just pure aura farming, right? This is not even the Anime Awards at all. It's just shonen. Everything else is shonen, and they brand and they wanted to brand people who are just on the weeb side, true anime fans. Oh, we are weebs, like just blaming it out, just pushed aside because Demon Slayer is where it's at, Solo Leveling where it's at, Ninja Kamui, One Punch Man season 3 is coming where it's at. It's gonna have the worst fucking animation there is. It's gonna have the worst animation by a studio who've never done Shonen Jump, who have never done a Shonen anime. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be very, very salty that these people, like no cap. They're cooked. It's a cooked show. It's a cooked awards. They say you got, for example, for example, solo leveling beat Freiren. Ninja Kamui beats Girls Band Cry. Yeah, basically, they're hearing other comments right here, per se, like from here from Chibi Reviews. I like to remind everyone that Crunchyroll intentionally refused to advertise Dandadan because they had to share rights with Netflix. I like to also to point out Crunchyroll was a major part of the production of Solo Leveling. Remember to keep that in mind for the award winners. This is from Chibi Reviews. I want to give a shout out to Chibi who keeps constantly putting content on Anime Tube. It's online. I give a good content to that. And as you can see right now, I'm sorry I have to tap the phone like this. But as you can see right now, it says it right here. Solo Leveling has won Crunchyroll's of the Year award for 2025. It says it here on their poster. Solo Leveling, done by none other than the GOAT A1 Pictures. You know, and since the Solo Leveling is so huge now, it's been blasting all over. It's commercial. It's a commercial anime. Just like Jujutsu Kaisen, who that is widely known for like this shonen pop culture. I mean, Jujutsu Kaisen up to this point that's now in Universal's Fan Fest in Hollywood, California. Soon enough, hopefully, we will get the same treatment in in Orlando for at least Universal Studios for Florida. better in Epic Universe. Hopefully in Epic Universe, because I've been hearing talks about know, One Piece. Like there was a sneak glimpse of a concept art for like Epic Universe parades in Epic Universe about apparently One Piece, like Luffy, Usopp, Sanji, and Zoro and Nami are going to be there jumping around with Chopper and all that stuff in as a little parade, and hopefully Jujutsu Kaisen and Pokemon gets on it because of the Super Nintendo has now officially arrived there. Hopefully, we're getting this Legend of Zelda as whether it's in Epic or going to be in Islands of Adventures. I would personally would say put this Legend of Zelda in Epic Universe. I would personally say that. Islands of Adventures, you got to keep the Lost Continent. Please respect the Lost Continent. The Lost Continent is something very vital to the Islands of Adventures land. Can't just take it out on the get go. Please take out King Kong. Yes, take out the Kong Skull Island one because that ride is pretty ass. That ride is such ass. I'm sorry. Remove Kong, but don't keep Lost Continent. And of course, update Jurassic World. Anyways, let's get back to what I was saying. So you have these awards right here. Look Back wins Film of the Year Crunchyroll Anime Awards, which was legit because it was a very good anime and it isn't some mere shonen slop as what all these anti hoodweebs call us about. Yeah. And then of course these Crunchyroll Awards, you get the same reaction from Samurai Crunchyroll Mirror of 2025. you know, it's just basically just coping. It's just coping with I show speed emojis. Pay respects to the fallen heroes. Look at this one, Bonnie 2132. Bonnie V. I think he's a VTuber. Yeah, Bonnie Vantinus. Okay, he says pay respects to the fallen heroes of the 2025 Crunchyroll Anime Awards. You deserve better. Bleach Freiren for the best score. Nope. Mao for best main character. Nope. Girls Band Cry. This for best original anime. Nope. Crunchyroll will live forever and always be a joke. Okay, yearly rant over. They say, because they've been ignoring that. They've ignored that because free rent. If you kind of guys know about free rent, I mean, anime film of the year. That's what says right here. Is it's quite a well known show. I mean, free rent was easily again, like we said, the number one anime throughout the 2 years. We had, even though you see it here in the nominations here for, I don't think I see it right here. For example, like ReZero or something like that. But because all I want to say is that Free Ren, what we all know, it has the best storytelling. It's completely fresh. It's not just mere isekai slop as as it's been always. It's not. It doesn't has a lot. It has a lot of dialogue that puts away the entire aura farming and what most people want. Most like shonen heads want to see. Now that doesn't mean that Chef Jump is a slop fest for just commercial ass people. For normies because that's what all normies. You know, big titty bitches with like long socks and bikini fighting with stars or farming or Goku, Naruto, Bleach, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there are those you get those because most of them are normies. No, I'm not going to label all these people down to the stupid idea of the people who are shonen heads are directly linked to those who love I Show Speed, or directly those to like WL community. No, dog, stop that shit. Okay, that just basically saying that all black and brown people are fucking shonen heads. I'm not. I'm brown. I'm not a shonen head. All right, I watch shonen, but I don't. I'm not obsessed with just shonen fights and all that stuff. I'm completely different. You know, yeah, I'm very. You get this too from the channel Solo Leveling Channel TV. Seeing Solo Leveling wins Anime of the Year Crunchyroll Awards, and then um, you get reactions like this. You get like this reaction. It's crazy because it's a far worse story than Dungeon Meshi, Freeran, and Apothecary Diaries. It's too bad it didn't go to one. Considering people that can actually name more than five characters in in those shows. You know, you got people, and then you have their reactions too. Look, if you want to cry, you should have voted or asked people to vote. Tsunami was better for the crowd and the story. You know, it literally comes down to what show has best and most hype fight scenes. If Death Note came out today, it would get no awards against JJK or Soul 11 because it doesn't have fights. Exactly. Yes, and those three stories serves different purpose, different audience. Maybe action is your favorite thing. It's not for everyone else. And this, you get this whole stupid piece. So, oh, so you see no problem. So you see no problem with anime having incredible stories losing out of recognition because there aren't any fight scenes. If you're taking the fighting out of solo leveling, it becomes unwatchable. But Free and Dungeon Meshi are easily still good enough to watch. I said, yes, I have no problem. This guy, hey, because each people have different tastes in anime, which is true. I love Freiren. I love Solo Leveling. Freiren isn't a story about action. Solo Leveling is one. If you take out the main point of Freiren, then it's unwatchable too, and you get this whole, all that stuff. Let's see. So Infinite Nigga, okay, I can tell who this guy is. Shanash, Pile of Air, and it's probably the same guy. One to Pogger, one to WL. Okay, I'm not surprised. And then once again, you guys see that, and I think to this matter of cost is that whether or not that maybe that we're gonna have the same thing because I know JJK had constant, 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 constant. Yeah, like this one, constant, like nominations and awards. Because Jujutsu Kaisen is the shit. Jujutsu Kaisen is the shit. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Jujutsu Kaisen is the shit. Come on, what's to say that, man? You got here too. For example, this one had different story. Like ReZero, which had fight scenes, but not much because it's all about story. It's about showing the grievances and something else different than just fights. That's one thing. And then you have this reaction here. This person, I think this person posted. Well, again, solo leveling anime of the year, absolutely undeserved. Best continuing series. Demon Slayer, is it? Is it, man? Is it with the long, especially with that long back the season three's the swordsmith arc about, right, with that long backstory, that long like boring ass backstory that has no meaning whatsoever, and is still being played by UFO Table. Though UFO Table, hey, I ain't gonna lie, UFO Table still is pretty fire with their productions, man. UFO Table is on another level, bro. Thank God they treated their people right, just by not enslaving them like Mappa Studios today when they're still doing Chainsaw Man. I know that for sure. Then there's Ninja Kaimuri, which is which is quite a surprise. Best original anime. Who are you? Just another thing what I too kind of would like to denounce too. Not against those who are reacting to that. Guys, I understand anime made in the United States made it just pretty ass. I understand that, especially with Devil May Cry that happened on Netflix, which was just fucking ridiculous. Fucking ridiculous. But I still enjoyed it anyways. I understand it's not it kind of it disrespected. I understand it disrespected the the continuity of the games of what the games are supposed to be, but it's nothing, but yet again it's just something fun. I understand lady is not, it's not what it is, but again you got to just give us a chance. I understand that. Yeah, look, you got to give us a chance. Put aside the fact that American animation is trying their best, even though it's shit. But then no, low key deserved. okay. Oh, fuck you. Free reign was supposed to be that way. But Apothecary Diaries, yeah, like Free Reign was deserved, absolutely deserved MASH, which is another anime, another like fantasy anime that should have been there. I mean, you got these people with different opinions. You got these people with many different opinions. Okay, but I think so. I think that is to this time. That is much I can do right here. This is something that I might gotta cut down pretty much because this is something very important. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction video. Like, subscribe to my channel, and of course, I know I'm shirtless. Don't worry, I'm not ass naked. Okay, I got shorts. Relax. So, deuces.